How did you make your first million? Did you do one thing over and over, rinse and repeat, and just put the blinders on and just over a year or 2 years, you just dominated?
I didn't like,
or were you side hustling your way there?
No, it wasn't draft day where there's just $1 million check. I probably paused because it's like, look and just like, oh, there's $1 million, right? I just kept selling. Yeah, I was just selling agency shit straight up. And when my thing is that my timing in the Facebook game was early. I just knew how to make Facebook works to get customers.
Did Facebook make you a millionaire?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes, 100%. That's a good question. Yes.
All right. So running ads on Facebook.
That's it. And then I ran an ad for myself. Honestly, if I'm being really specific, I ran an ad for myself showing a case study that I did on a video on my cell phone that I edited, that I got the tripod for, that I did everything for. And how did I learn how to do those things? Fucking Googling. And luckily people put up great content for me to learn from. Notice I didn't say I was self-taught. Someone else put out content that I learned from, and I learned from them. So shout out to all those people. But then I ran this campaign that said, hey, here's what I did for Facebook ads for this client. If you want me to do the same for you, click the button below and get on my calendar. And that funnel.
And you took the call.
And I took the call.
You closed the deal.
I did everything. Every single person in my company, I've done their job. All of it. Every single one. And so I got a lead. And I remember the first day I ran that funnel, I made $10,000 the next day. And I just kept repeating. And then that turned into some dope franchises like Orange Theory Fitness, and did like 300 of their locations. That turned into Massage Envy. That turned into like a Kia dealership here in San Diego, a Dave & Buster's, everything. I kept doing agency stuff for years. People wanted me to teach them, and I do some coaching consulting on the side.
One success opened up another door.
That was it. But it was all the same thing. The request changed though. Some people, I remember one of the Orange Theory Fitness owners was like, hey man, do you mind just show me how to do what you do? And I'm like, kind of, motherfucker. This is how I do it.
That's my secret sauce.
I kind of do mine. Then he threw money at me, which I think was like $1,000 for an hour. And I said, what? You'll pay me $1,000 to show you? I'll suck your dick too. Hop on the phone. Let's go.
Right. And then I sucked Billie Jean is marketing. The business is born.
But I learned. I was like, oh, that's consulting. So I got in consulting because someone asked me to do it. And then someone said, do you have a course? I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, because I have a bunch of people who would buy it. I made a course. Now I had a course. And I actually hated education in the beginning because I was like, I just want to do the agency shit. I want to deal with none of this nonsense. So for many years, probably about 4 or 5, I just got good at my skill set, which is really backwards for people because most people don't want to get a skill set first. And then I remember my boy Mike Cooch was like, hey, will you do a webinar for my people? His last name is Cooch, and he's one of the dopest business people there.
It sounded like you said Mike Cooch.
Oh no, Mike Cooch, but it does sound
that's
like
some shit like my son would call in and be like, to the airport. Yeah, we need to page Mike Cooch.
So yes, I call him and he's like, yo, will you do a webinar for my people and show them what you're doing? They have agencies.
And you're like,
and I said, yeah. And then I made an offer at the end and we made $83,000 in that hour. And I said,
now you're on. Now you get it.
I once it hit, I said, let's go. But then also something else happened is in the agency, there's some dope things about it that I always love. And that's why I always probably have it as part of my arsenal. But people weren't as appreciative for some reason when you do it for them. There were times, but when you taught someone the skill set, I'd get these fucking Facebook messages like, yo, this changed my life. Da, da, da. And I'm like, wow, well, that's cool because I made a lot of money too. And you're winning? Oh, we got a win-win here where we're both on top? Okay, let me do this webinar shit again. And the next thing you know, 160,000 students, 75 countries.
Think about this. I think the average American makes around 40 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
You teach them how to make an extra G.
It's life-changing.
Dude, 1 G.
Yep.
Life-changing. You were like, I made $83,000 in an hour. To them, 1 G changes everything. They're like, oh my God, I could do this again.
Mm.
So it's not like the bar was like 83 grand. It's like, teach me how to make $1,000 extra a month. Once they figure that out, it's like, oh, I could do that. I can maybe make 2. I can maybe make 5. And I remember on my real estate come up, I was at the time a bookkeeper making 34 or 36,000, I forget, per year.
Wow.
And I put on my wall, if I could just make $4,000 a month consistently wholesaling houses, that's like my heaven, my freedom. I can quit bookkeeping, do real estate full time. Can you imagine? If only I can make $4,000 a month. That was where I first set the first bar. And
now it's your Lambo payment.
Dude, there is a conversation.
Hey, you want to tell Dan to come in here?
Yeah, there is a conversation around perception of money. We'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, it was a power move for you to help people create those win-wins.